is the lead department in UK government in our preparations for Rio+20, and we started work some time ago to try and help build up the political will to get a tangible outcome from the summit next year. I take the view that just because it's very difficult globally with economic turmoil, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be striving really hard to get some really deliverable outcome from Rio+20. Environment ministers have been meeting in preparation for it, and I think without being over-optimistic or over-pessimistic, there is a consensus emerging about the kind of thing that could come forth from Rio+20, but I am clear we need to put a lot of work in between now and June if we're going to make it happen. I think one of the most exciting ideas to come forward so far is the suggestion from Colombia with Guatemala that we might look at sustainable development goals. Everyone will be aware that in 2015 the Millennium Development Goals reach a terminus, so in 2012 we ought to start discussing what follows on, and I think the encouraging thing is around the globe environment ministers see Sustainable Development Goals and Millennium Development Goals as being complementary. So I think there's a good opportunity there, but a lot of work needs to go into what these might be. So you asked me, if I had a dream. Well, the theme for Rio+20 is decided. That is going to be about how we green our economies to provide sustainable development and reduce poverty. So that's been decided, and the second theme is what kind of institutional framework do we need to deliver that. And I think forests very clearly have a central place in that discussion. But to get it more centre stage, I think we need to work on the linkages between forestry, agriculture, water, energy, and how together they are part of the answer on sustainable development. There's a little bit of a tendency to look at things in isolation. Here we are having a forests day. Yesterday we had an agriculture day. In fact, agriculture and forests are inextricably linked. It's often the need to produce more and more land for agriculture that leads to the deforestation. So, given the warm invitation from the Brazilians to have an agriculture day, which was issued yesterday, I think one option is to look at bringing forests and agriculture together for a really good debate, no doubt with a lot of you good folks there. But we need to get it into the discussion because it's integral to the solution, because it can provide both mitigation and adaptation. It helps to reduce the carbon losses. The reforestation helps to protect and enhance the biodiversity, and if we can persuade those who are deforesting of a different form of livelihood, we can alleviate their poverty in the process. So these things are inextricably linked, and I guess the most powerful image I'll take away from that film that John has just shown is actually what he started with, which is the degraded lands. And I think one of the most heartening things I learned from the work of Pavan Sukhdev on the economics of ecosystems and biodiversity is you can help make things better. It's not all doom and gloom, that actually the right kind of intervention can restore a lot of the lost biodiversity. And we can restore a lot of the lost biodiversity in our forests if we see it as an integral part of moving to a sustainable model for growth. So I guess that's what my hope is, and the UK will be actively engaged in trying to help everybody who wants tangible outcomes from Rio next year achieve them. I think there needs to be a lot of work over the next 3 to 4 months to make that happen. I know the Brazilians are very keen for success. They've convened the private sector and NGOs in the days preceding the ministerial segment. So I think everyone in their own country needs to encourage their own NGOs and businesses that really get sustainable growth to get along to Rio and help to drive the momentum behind a tangible outcome. But thank you very much for the chance to set that out, and I'm looking forward to hearing what others have to say.